The role of manipulation and AI in religion, examining the beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson, and Asian women flight attendants who love Jesus memes. Introduction. In recent years, the intersection of religion, social media, and artificial intelligence, AI, has presented new avenues for exploring how digital platforms shape beliefs, values, and behaviors. Memes, viral content, and AI-generated posts have infiltrated various aspects of our online lives, influencing everything from political opinions to personal beliefs. One peculiar yet telling example of this phenomenon is the emergence of the beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson, and Asian women flight attendants who love Jesus memes, which encapsulate how AI-driven content is reshaping religious conversations online. At first glance, these memes seem harmless or absurd, but a deeper analysis reveals significant trends regarding religious manipulation, the role of superstition, and the potential for AI to accelerate a shift away from traditional faith-based systems. This essay explores the nature of religious manipulation both historically and in the context of modern digital culture. It considers how AI-driven content, particularly the use of Christian-themed posts and clickbait like this video if you love Jesus, affects believers and non-believers alike. By examining the apparent fatigue many Christians experience in response to such manipulation, the essay argues that AI's involvement in undermining religious faith may, paradoxically, be beneficial. In this way, AI's intrusion into religious content could serve as a catalyst for critical thinking, challenging traditional beliefs, and ultimately fostering a more secular, evidence-based worldview. Section 1: Memes, Social Media, and Religion. In the age of social media, memes have become a powerful form of communication. Memes distill complex ideas into simple, often humorous images or phrases that can be easily shared and understood by wide audiences. The memes referencing beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson, or Asian women flight attendants who love Jesus exemplify this trend. On the surface, these images appear to combine random associations of celebrity, beauty, and religion. However, they also reflect a growing tendency to exploit the juxtaposition of religious content with everyday, superficial aesthetics to capture attention and generate engagement. In particular, Christian-themed memes or AI-generated religious content, like this video if you love Jesus posts, have become a common phenomenon on social platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. The purpose of these posts is rarely to encourage deep reflection or genuine religious engagement. Instead, they are designed to manipulate users into interacting with the content, whether by liking, sharing, or commenting, under the guise of religious sentiment. Such content appeals to emotions and superficial engagement rather than critical thinking. The fusion of religious imagery with digital clickbait is not a new form of religious expression, but rather a continuation of a long tradition of religious manipulation, repurposed for the digital age. Section 2: Historical context of religious manipulation. The intersection of religion and manipulation has deep historical roots. For centuries, religious institutions have used a variety of tactics to control behavior, propagate faith, and maintain power. From the use of fear in the Middle Ages, when the Church threatened eternal damnation for non-believers, to the sale of indulgences as a way to absolve sins, religion has long been tied to methods of persuasion that do not rely on rational or critical thought. Religious manipulation often plays on people's fears, insecurities, and desire for comfort in times of uncertainty. By promoting a worldview grounded in superstition, many religions cultivate a framework where faith is seen as the solution to life's challenges, whether they are financial, emotional, or existential. The promise of eternal salvation or punishment reinforces a system where individuals are encouraged to follow dogma without questioning its validity. This historical context helps explain why manipulative religious content continues to thrive in the digital age. Memes, clickbait, and AI-generated posts represent a modern adaptation of these age-old strategies, repackaging religious messages for a new medium. The medium may have changed, but the underlying goal remains the same: to persuade people to accept religious narratives without critically evaluating their content. Section 3: AI, Algorithms, and the Proliferation of Religious Clickbait. AI plays a significant role in the proliferation of religious clickbait, particularly posts that use emotionally charged language like this video if you love Jesus, or imagery that links religious devotion to popular culture or beauty standards, as seen in the beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson meme. Algorithms on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook are designed to maximize user engagement, and they do so by promoting content that provokes an emotional reaction. Religious themes, especially those that tap into personal identity and cultural values, are particularly effective at generating this kind of reaction. For example, posts asking users to express their love for Jesus or share religious messages implicitly pressure people to interact, either out of guilt or a desire to be seen as virtuous by their peers. These posts prey on individuals' need for social validation and can create a feedback loop where religious content is not genuinely reflective of belief, but is shared as a performance of faith. AI-generated religious content amplifies this dynamic by creating and distributing posts at scale. With little to no human oversight, AI can churn out endless variations of clickbait, making it harder for users to differentiate between genuine religious messages and manipulative content. This constant exposure to superficial religious messaging can dilute the impact of faith-based content and lead to compassion fatigue or disillusionment among believers. Section 4: The impact on Christian communities. Interestingly, the mass production of religious clickbait and memes is beginning to have unintended consequences within Christian communities. While some believers may initially engage with AI-generated religious content, many are growing weary of the constant bombardment of simplistic, manipulative messages. In online discussions and forums, some Christians express frustration with the repetitive nature of posts like this video if you love Jesus, and argue that these messages trivialize their faith. The problem extends beyond mere annoyance. The saturation of religious content, much of which is devoid of substance, may actually contribute to a weakening of faith. When faith is reduced to a series of superficial social media interactions, it loses its depth and meaning. People may begin to question the authenticity of their beliefs when they see religion treated as just another form of clickbait. Additionally, some Christians are growing increasingly skeptical of the motives behind these posts. Rather than fostering genuine religious engagement, they see these AI-generated messages as part of a broader trend toward commercialization and manipulation within religious discourse. For example, influencers or content creators who use religion as a way to garner likes and followers contribute to the commodification of faith, turning it into a product rather than a personal or spiritual experience. Section 5: AI as a catalyst for losing faith? One of the more provocative arguments surrounding the role of AI in religious content is the idea that AI could inadvertently become a catalyst for people losing their faith. As AI-driven algorithms flood social media with manipulative religious posts, users may become increasingly disillusioned with the very idea of religion. Rather than inspiring devotion, these posts often promote a shallow version of faith that emphasizes public displays of belief over private, personal conviction. For those who have grown tired of religious manipulation, AI's role in undermining faith can be seen as a positive development. By exposing the superficiality and manipulative nature of religious messages, AI may prompt individuals to question the validity of their beliefs. When religion is reduced to a tool for generating clicks and likes, it loses its power to provide meaningful answers to life's big questions. In this way, AI could accelerate the trend toward secularization, encouraging more people to adopt a critical, evidence-based approach to understanding the world. Moreover, the rise of AI-generated religious content may serve as a wake-up call for those who have long been skeptical of religious institutions. The realization that AI can so easily mimic and exploit religious language may lead some to question the authenticity of religious teachings altogether. If AI can generate religious content without any understanding or belief, then what does that say about the nature of faith itself? For some, this realization may lead to a deeper questioning of religious authority and a move away from faith-based systems. Section 6: The nature of religion and superstition. At the core of this discussion is the nature of religion itself. Historically, religion has often relied on elements of superstition and manipulation to sustain belief. Whether through rituals, symbols, or fear of divine retribution, religion has used various tools to maintain control over followers and encourage adherence to specific doctrines. In this sense, the manipulative nature of AI-generated religious content is not a departure from tradition, but a continuation of the same tactics used by religious institutions for centuries. Superstition, by definition, involves beliefs or practices that are not based on reason or scientific evidence, but instead rely on irrational fears or hopes. Many religious practices fit this definition, from the belief in miracles to the idea that certain prayers or rituals can alter one's fate. By promoting these kinds of beliefs, religion discourages critical thinking and instead encourages individuals to accept certain truths on faith alone. In this context, AI-generated religious content, while frustrating for many, may also highlight the inherent weaknesses of superstition-based belief systems. When people see how easily AI can manipulate religious messages for the sake of likes and clicks, they may begin to question the validity of the messages themselves. If faith can be so easily exploited, then what does that say about the foundations of religious belief? Section 7. The potential for critical thinking and secularization. The proliferation of AI-generated religious content presents a unique opportunity to foster critical thinking and encourage secularization. By flooding the digital landscape with shallow, manipulative religious posts, AI may force people to confront the limitations of faith-based systems. Rather than blindly accepting religious messages, users may begin to critically evaluate the content they consume and question the motives behind it. As AI continues to generate religious clickbait, people may become more skeptical of the religious narratives they encounter. This skepticism can pave the way for a more rational, evidence-based approach to understanding the world. While religion has historically discouraged critical thinking in favor of faith, the rise of AI may ironically serve as a catalyst for promoting intellectual inquiry and skepticism. Secularization, the process by which religion loses its influence over society, is a trend that has been accelerating in many parts of the world. AI's role in this process is still in its early stages, but the potential is clear. By exposing the manipulative nature of religious content and encouraging people to question their beliefs, AI could play a significant role in accelerating the decline of religious influence and promoting a more secular, rational worldview. Conclusion. The emergence of memes like beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson, and Asian women flight attendants who love Jesus, as well as the flood of AI-generated religious posts, reflects a larger trend in the relationship between religion, social media, and AI. While these posts may seem trivial or humorous at first, they reveal significant insights into the nature of religious manipulation, the role of superstition, and the potential for AI to undermine faith. As AI continues to generate religious clickbait and shallow, manipulative messages, many Christians and other religious individuals are growing weary of this trend. The oversaturation of religious content devoid of substance may lead to a weakening of faith and an increase in skepticism. Far from being a negative development, this shift could promote critical thinking and foster a more secular, evidence-based approach to understanding the world. Ultimately, the role of AI in religious discourse may have unintended but beneficial consequences. By highlighting the manipulative nature of religious messages and encouraging people to question their beliefs, AI could help accelerate the process of secularization and encourage a more rational, critical approach to the complexities of life. In this sense, AI's role in undermining faith may indeed be a positive development.